different notes in a key doesn't make it the wrong key. It just means I hit different notes.
Okay, I'm just saying that that's not how the song goes.
You don't understand music or anything.
I don't know anything about music theory, no, but
exactly.
I know that that's not how the song goes.
Wow.
But do you know what I do know goes? The Real Neighbours. Episode 37.
I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you at all.
Episode 37.
I'm just going to watch you squirm.
Episode 37. Is that the one we're on? I don't know. What? You're not going to help me?
I'm going to watch you squirm because you disgust me.
All right, guys. I guess it's just me talking this one.
Is it episode 37?
I don't know.
No, it's got to be 36.
No.
Maybe it's 37. You know what? Let's not talk. Let's not drag this out. Let's just kind of keep moving on, right?
No,
Memento.
It's 37.
Perfect. Guys, welcome to episode 37 to Real Neighbours.
Welcome to episode
7. We're here live and uncut.
Unplugged in New York.
And that's not a feature. That's actually 100% a detrimental downside.
What?
As you can see so far. Oh, just the fact that we're just like, oh, what episode? I don't know. I don't know what episode it is.
Unplugged.
Who knows?
Raw. Visceral.
I know. When people think like, raw and
Real.
visceral, they want something actually good. As you said, like an MTV performance. They don't want like raw, uncut, just pure fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Oh, dude. But this is magical. We're in a cabin. I see fireflies flashing out the window.
Oh, it's so nice when it's out there and out of reach because the mosquitoes are disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trapped in here with one.
I feel like everybody says this every single year, but is it worse than last year?
It is.
It has to be.
Without a
right?
doubt. I didn't get bit that much last year.
Okay.
I'm covered, like for real. Yeah.
I know, I'm covered too. It's fucking awful. We went out there to take a photo and we're just getting eaten alive and I'm like, ugh, nature, and I my tendency to just flee to the indoors just kicked in.
It's the government, man.
It's the government?
Yeah, they're like, COVID's not working anymore.
Hold on, Jamie. Is it kind of hot in here? What are you feeling?
Definitely hot in here.
Kind of toasty, right? Do you want to like get a little bit of a fanskies going here?
Yeah, we might as well. Actually, did I unplug it? I might have.
You might have unplugged. That's okay, champ. I'll deal
Unplugged
with it.
in New York.
Don't you worry about it.
Yeah.
No, you just plug this bad boy in.
Go for it. Yeah.
Hey, Jamie, why don't you tell us about your week while I do this?
Oh, okay. My week. I don't even know. I didn't do much. It's been kind of boring.
Jamie, you're talking to me and I'm bored. Come on.
Wait a minute.
Say something funny.
I don't know. It's pretty mundane. Like I went to Niagara Falls. It's fun, but the stories there aren't really, fun to share with strangers,
Not fun to share with strangers.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Niagara Falls is sick, actually. I had a great time, yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no. You don't have to get into detail. It's none of nobody's business. That's why we do this show, to keep their business out of our business.
To keep my business secret, even though I'd say most of this is just us sharing every aspect of our lives.
Yeah, and I do think that at this point there's like a power dynamic happening where sometimes when I talk to someone and they've said, I've listened to your podcast, they very possibly know way more about me than I do about them.
No, yeah, that is true.
And it makes me feel weak.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel vulnerable.
You are vulnerable, yeah.
And they still got secrets. They're not telling. They don't have a podcast that I can listen to and get the lowdown of
I know.
how weird they are.
Keeping secrets is a power move, honestly. The more you can keep, the less people have to really form. So at that point, you're just still
mystique. Jamie, mystique.
You're an enigma still. People don't know.
I know. I'm too discovered at this point. I'm like an old fossil that's been tread over too many times, and nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
Like whatever. You're just a T-Rex. Okay, we're over you.
We're gonna be in museums someday with just a book of our lives. And
I like to think it's theoretically possible.
That's true. Our bones could
Why
end
not?
up in a
There
museum.
could be some weird reason why. It could be one thing. One, fame. Two, we get some crazy deformity that makes us so demented and terrible that we end up in a museum.
Yeah, or like what if we're like hiking one day.
Right place, right time?
Or yeah, we're hiking and like what if amber or something just perfectly we get flooded and get stuck in goop and then we get like hardened in amber.
Oh no, it'd be
perfectly preserves our body or something.
No, it'd be like water and lava converging in the same spot while we get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
And it just creates this like crazy like element that perfectly contains us.
Yeah. Well, what's that?
That'd be pretty cool.
They found a guy like
it would hurt.
Perfectly preserved in ice.
Yes,
So, like,
that's true.
That could happen to us.
Yeah, but mine involves water, lava, and lightning.
that is cooler than that guy's. I will.
Yeah.
I'll give you
like,
that.
His, I feel like that's kind of a dime a dozen thing. Like, come on, really?
Yeah.
We haven't found all of them, but how many people have just frozen to death? It's not that hard, dude. All you have to do is just walk out there and fall over and die. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, the circumstances have to be perfect for you to be preserved, like, perfectly, though. Like, people freeze and still decompose. I guess something about what was captured in the ice with him.
It was some sort of preservative that actually helped it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. I read about something like that when I was younger. They call him, like, the Iceman, because people are super creative, right?
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, I never got the memo because all the meat I keep in the freezer for years on end seems fine.
yeah, you eat it a couple years later.
You pull out a burger and you're like, it looks pretty good.
Just scrape the green off it. The freezer burn off it.
Yeah, just scrape that green freezer burn off of it.
Okay, this is gross. When I was younger, I used to like the taste of freezer burn, like popsicles and stuff.
Oh, I liked the way.
Gave it a bit of a
liked
tang.
the initial rush. I liked the initial rush of like the chunks of ice on the.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that's really weird.
Well, no, but there gets to a point where there's like a weird aftertaste because of it, and I somehow enjoy. I don't like it now, but when I was younger, I enjoyed it.
The aftertaste as well.
The freezer burn aftertaste.
You must have had some delicious like old chicken in there or something that really
stuck to the popsicles.
That like got into like the ice that froze onto your popsicle, gave it a nice little kick.
Just salmonella.
Pure salmonella.
Maybe.
Little did you know you were actually developing antibodies for salmonella.
That's true.
And you would have died at 10 years old when you ate that raw turkey at Thanksgiving.
That's true.
If not for the fact that you were eating salmonella through freezer burn on your
whole
popsicles for the
childhood.
last 5 years.
Yeah. No, that's solid theory.
You know what? With the amount of people on this planet, I believe that has happened at least once. I believe that.
the chicken.
I'm serious.
The chicken freezer burn.
When there's billions and billions of people that have lived and died, and
Yeah.
it only needs to happen once.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's like a point, like put 5 to 10 zeros there and a 1% chance.
Yeah. Actually,
I don't know.
Actually,
it could be.
Yeah. Well, okay. This is really bad. I remember it was a couple years ago. Maybe I was really drunk and I ate like a little piece of raw chicken, and a bunch of people were like, "What are you doing?" And then I ate it, and they're like, "You can literally die." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess that's true."
Good point.
Good point. And I already swallowed it and everything. I was like, "Okay, well I
Well,
didn't.
shit.
I didn't."
That's good.
Yeah.
You know, a lot
here.
of people actually will eat salmonella to keep developing an immunity towards it.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know, it's basically the only reason people die from salmonella is the fact that,
They're pussies.
well, it's like a lot of things. You can just develop an antibodies and immunity towards it.
Yeah.
So if you eat like a tiny bit of salmonella, and then you start eating more and more, you will get to the point that you can eat like an amount of salmonella that could kill someone else.
Okay, weird.
And my buddy had a roommate that ate salmonella.
Like he extracted his own salmonella and ate it every day.
He would just know he would like intentionally like raw chicken and shit
Ugh.
because he knew.
Is he still alive?
He was really into like natural immunities and stuff like that, or something. I don't know, something weird. But
Yeah.
he was like immune to salmonella, and he was like, as long as I like have, and he basically said, as long as I have salmonella, sometimes,
Yeah.
I will just continue to remain immune to it.
We're
Isn't
gonna
that
get
crazy.
We're gonna get flagged. Like this podcast gonna be flagged as false information, dangerous misinformation. We're gonna like kill people over this.
Have you ever heard of anecdotal evidence for a particular person?
Yeah. I think most people. There's a lot of people who die of salmonella, so that's a risky business. That guy's, you know.
Well, it's about starting small. There's lots of things that kill you in large quantities, but there's lots of things that if you start in low quantities and slowly develop your body towards to be like I know what this is, I know what it does, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah. I read about
you're good.
I read about a guy who did that with like red meat too, because apparently it is a lot safer. Chicken is definitely the most dangerous meat to eat raw.
Well, you can eat blue steak. The thing is, though, you should really be. You should probably just buy quality meat and knowing where it comes from if you're doing that.
Yeah.
Why would you buy I wouldn't be going to Loblaws and going to the on sale aisle for like the ones that are expiring today to make blue steak. I would definitely be like, no, I'm getting primo meat.
No, but I'm not even taught. Like I know blue steak, you at least cook it to a degree. I'm saying
You cook it for literally like 20 seconds.
But I'm saying there's people who like adamantly just eat raw meat. Like it's a very niche group. Obviously, it's not popular, and again, there is some dangers to it. But there are people who are like, oh, I think,
you're talking about ground, right?
like, yeah, people just straight up. Well, I'm not talking about any fancy dish. There are a lot of dishes that are technically raw. I'm saying there's like people who don't cook meat at all. Like their whole thing is to be like, my body can get used to it, and they think it's like healthier, even though I don't really think there's much. There's not much science there.
That's half true, because actually I've eaten raw beef.
Yeah.
You can actually get it from I lived in Little India in Toronto.
Yeah.
And there was a place there where you can buy you can get like this like cool type of bread, and they give you a bunch of like. In my case, I wanted beef, and they sold raw beef, so I was like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
So I bought the raw beef, and I put it on the wrap thing, and it tasted weird.
Was it like naan bread or just like a pita? Or
it wasn't naan bread. I would have said so. Is it naan or naan?
Oh, I don't know.
I think
Probably
it's naan bread.
Probably.
But I wasn't sure. That's why I didn't say naan bread. But it's some sort of something in a very similar field, like a pita wrap or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
It tasted very strange.
Yeah.
Like the texture was very
mushy. Like
yeah, it was very weird. Like my body was not prepared for it, and I don't even think I didn't get sick, but I didn't feel good.
Right.
I was just I think my body was just confused. I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
I don't know what you just ate.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
and I believe it was it was in Little India. It might have been a Caribbean restaurant or something like that.
Okay.
It was like a 10-minute walk from my house, and when we first moved, we were like, let's just go to like a cool local place.
Yeah.
After we finished like moving everything, so we just like all walked down, and went to like some random place.
That's quite the multicultural experience. You're in Toronto, you're in Little India, and you go to a Caribbean restaurant.
I know, pretty cool.
That's just everything all.
It's not like it's a hard rule. It's not like they're like, hey.
Yeah, you have to be
an
Indian restaurant. Yeah, true.
You know, they have a lot of Indian food there, but they also just have a lot of exotic food in general.
Yeah,
in Little India.
That sounds cool.
No, dude, I do love that about Toronto.
Yeah,
that was always cool to me.
Yeah. Do you remember? Again, I honestly feel like we mentioned this at some point on this podcast, but whatever, it's gonna happen. I remember when we were younger, you were like, I've always wanted to eat raw bacon. And then we didn't swallow it, but we both took raw bacon, just put it in our mouth, and like sucked on it for a bit.
Yes, we did do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about that, but
no, okay.
It was you know what it was, and it's not fair. Is all the kids shows would display bacon, and when they did, like them eating bacon and it looking really delicious, it was never like crispy cooked bacon. It was always like raw strips of bacon.
That's true. Yeah.
And as a kid, I would watch that and go, "Those look delicious. Why am I eating this bacon my parents are giving me?"
Yeah.
Meanwhile, some sort of like, I don't know, like some sort of coyote or something's eating this bacon.
This cartoon coyote on TV.
Yeah, so I remember fantasizing. I'd be like, I just want to eat raw bacon. I guess, yeah, and I think I'm not sure if I convinced you, if you were just onto it. I don't know, but I remember putting it in my mouth.
I did too. I feel like you easily convinced me. You're like, think of how delicious this smells and looks. I'm like, that's a good point.
And you probably saw the same shows I did.
Yeah.
So your brain's going, I mean, that does look delicious.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of cartoons had some good looking food. I remember the Teletubby custard. I used to always want that.
I was raving about that recently with someone. Who was that?
Did we talk about that?
No, we talked about it with a friend of ours.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about shit that looked delicious on TV, and I remember saying Teletubby's custard was my jam.
I always felt that too.
My God.
Yeah, and didn't they have like the weird like it was like smiley face
cookie? Was it like
pancakes?
Maybe it was a pancake.
Some form of thing. It looked delicious too, whatever it was.
I just remember them coming home and they would just be like farting out that like goop, and they'd be like custard. It's just like pouring
smearing
everywhere,
it all over their bodies, rolling around.
I would pay to see that.
Yeah.
Somebody please make that. Just the Teletubbies, but they're just like
really
custard.
Gross.
Just like literally just like licking it off their fingers and wiping it on their face.
You think about it, that would be an expensive like bit. Like you'd have to spend a lot of money on these nice Teletubby costumes, and then you just ruin them.
But you're
custard.
targeting an audience.
Yeah.
And our audience is ripe for something like that. I'm confident.
Yeah, I think the world's waiting for it.
And you know what? Technology is always getting better and better. Making special effects and shit's getting easier and easier. One day you won't even need a set, or actors or anything. You just generate everything, and it looks real, and you just make shit.
Yeah. Wow.
Nothing-
You're a visionary.
Yeah,
man.
nothing will mean anything.
I as soon as you pictured that, I've still pictured like us needing to be in Teletubby suits, but the custard would be fake. And I was like, I just pictured like that invisible food from Hook. Like we're just pretending to smear stuff all over us.
Wow, dude. In hindsight, the first half of that scene must have been so easy to film.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so none of the food's here yet. You can just pretend there's food. And man, like, I mean, we're saving so much on budget right
That's
now.
quality acting. They're all pretending to eat. Is that like the only movie that's ever happened in? They're all just sitting around pretending to eat.
Yeah, I know. That was. You know what? We were talking about this. Hook got shit on so bad in like just in reviews and what so have you.
Yeah, we were
But
actually very
everybody
recently. Yeah.
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago.
Maybe
but
that's why it's in my
everybody
head.
I have ever talked to thought Hook was a great movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they said I rewatched it later. Still a great movie.
I feel like I kind of shit on it on this podcast actually, because I do think we talked about it a long time ago. I just have a vague memory, and I kind of changed my mind because I think I kind of lost interest the most recent time I tried to watch it. But I wouldn't say it's bad. It was way cooler as a kid, but it's still not. I wouldn't say it's bad. You know what I mean?
I think it was a great indication of the times.
Yeah.
It was like it was made in the late '90s with Robin Williams, and I forget who the head pirate guy was, but he was a pretty notable actor as well.
Captain Hook, yeah.
And you know
He
what?
was scary, especially when he lost his wig. That freaked me out. As a
I
kid.
know he did a great job, and it was weird because Robin Williams was like, I think we might have said this in private, but
Yeah.
Robin Williams was kind of in that like same age phase, right? So it feels like you're going through that journey with him. Like I don't know, it's very wholesome to me somehow.
It is.
I don't know why.
It is a timeless movie too, because like even the original story of Peter Pan, I think it's technically supposed to be about getting older and kind of holding on to like imagination and stuff. So yeah, it's Robin Williams when he's older,
And he did get older.
and it's basically him trying to like re-explore his old imagination is kind of the vibe. And it's actually it's kind of a sad movie because it's makes you think about like mortality and stuff almost like, you know, it's all just about him getting older. But
And yeah, and it was weird too.
it is a sad movie to a degree, but it is, I don't know, it's good, I think.
And there was nothing necessarily wrong with his life either that he
Yeah.
left. You
Yeah.
know? It was just a very plain adult life.
Yeah.
And then he as you said, he went on this journey. He got a bit of that spark back, you know, of naivety and like curiosity and wanting to explore things and see what happens and just kind of being free with your
Is it Rufio
Yeah,
or
Rufio.
Or Rufio?
Yeah,
Okay.
Rufio.
Oh, that's kind of
Makes you think of roofies or what?
yeah,
Jay?
yeah, it does. I don't like that.
But so that's kind of
Rufio-
cool. So it's like the whole story I said is like someone who got older and then he reobtained that passion. He came back and
Yeah. I remember the scene in it. It was Rufio, and he's fighting Hook, and he catches his like hook with a sword or something. He's like, "Looky, looky, I've got hooky." And I remember as a kid,
I remember that scene. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then he has like one hand behind his back while he's fighting him just to show off.
yeah.
and,
Why is that one of the few things I remember about that movie?
and we can't say spoilers because nobody would be
Oh.
able to handle how that ends.
That's true.
I know.
That movie's. Oh, there's actually a really like fucked up scene in that movie. Don't they like lock someone in a box and just throw like scorpions and stuff in it?
Yes, that's correct.
That freaked me out as a kid. Like,
Yeah, no, that was pretty fucked up.
Like-
However, pretty tame in the grand scheme of things because growing up, we had some pretty metal films.
that's true.
So the one I always quote is the one that always creeped me out the most was Pinocchio
Yeah, the kids
because the
stringing
whole
donkeys
stringing
and stuff.
donkeys and they were all drinking,
Yeah,
like all drunk off of beer, and he's like and Pinocchio's basically in a bar.
yeah,
Hanging out with these guys, and they turn into donkeys, and like the whole island turns into donkey people, and he has to escape on a boat.
yeah,
It was pretty fucking metal,
yeah.
really.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody's doing like now we have Wreck-It Ralph, and like Wreck-It Ralph thematically is the polar opposite. It's like feel good, funny, like inside jokes.
I don't know,
and-
man. The devil's in that movie.
True, but he's funny.
That's true.
They made him really funny.
Yeah.
Now, what would be kind of off-putting if he was just like normal Satan?
Yeah.
And he was like causing havoc and destruction and killing people, and that would actually maybe be more akin to what we watched as a kid.
Well,
If Wreck-It Ralph was made in the '60s,
Yeah.
the devil would have actually been the devil, just like killing
yeah,
some of the
making metal music.
killing some of the references.
Inspiring, taking people's souls and giving them musical abilities.
True.
That's what the devil does.
Is that still a rumor, like a big rumor that Led Zeppelin sold their soul to the devil?
I think less people probably believe it now, but I don't know.
I think it kind of disappeared. I remember when we were kids, people talked about it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, don't listen to Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
They sold their soul to Satan.
Well, there was a lot of bands that had that rumor going around.
But for me, Led Zeppelin was a big one.
Yeah.
I heard about that one more than once.
There was a blues artist, and I wish I knew the name since if I'm referencing
Something Johnson. He wrote the song Crossroads in the 30s.
Yeah.
Like, I went down to the crossroads.
Yeah.
I forget the last name. It was something Johnson.
So he was definitely like one of the first big rumors like that going around, because didn't he kind of perpetuate that?
He
was
confessed to it.
I sold my soul. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, he said that he sold his soul to the devil.
Mm-hmm. Gets everyone all freaking out.
I wonder if Benny can find that for me. It's kind of hard to.
Maybe that's what the real Neighbours has to do.
Robert Johnson.
That's it.
That was his name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Benny.
I actually used one of his songs in a project. That's why I remembered that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I would say a lot of like old rock music too. A lot of them claimed like any band that used kind of like satanic imagery too. So like Slayer, Iron Maiden, stuff like that. A lot of people like parents of.
I heard the Iron Maiden one too.
Well, there's a lot of bands.
And before we
honestly.
forget, I just remembered it. His story was, I think the song's called "The Devil at the Crossroad" or something. But
yeah.
It's actually it's in a lot of pop culture now, where like when you make a deal with the devil, you do it at the crossroad.
Okay.
So you like go to like the desert, like the middle of nowhere, you find a crossroads, and then
Like
you
railroads
do like
and stuff.
No, crossroads just like I think it's literally just a crossing of roads in the middle of nowhere sort of thing.
Okay. Now, what if in Sarnia there's a thing called Five Corners. There's 5 streets all crossing. Do you think that you would find the devil even easier there?
No, that's not very bluesy though.
That's true.
It's too like suburban.
I was at the 5 crossroads.
Yeah, you can't say like I was at Young and Dundas in Toronto.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to work. You have to go out to like some like desert or something, or
that's
like
true.
Go in the middle of nowhere. There's no humans, and like the crossroads are dirt. Like I think that would be the prerequisite.
Yeah.
If you go to a crossroad to make a deal with the devil, guys, it needs to be dirt roads.
It does. Yeah, dirt roads is a big one. And that explains Lil Nas X with Old Town Roads.
He sold his soul to the devil to make bad music?
Because his newest music video had the devil in it. After he made Old Town Roads.
Dude, I don't know anything about Lil... How do you know all this stuff about this guy?
He is a very popular guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Probably because he sold his soul to Satan, I guess.
Exactly.
I would have added in if I would prefer to be like Led Zeppelin over Lil Nas, so I would have added in like maybe make me like a legendary like guitar player or something too. But
well, yeah, the Lil Nas thing, it was basically he was like giving the devil like a lap dance and stuff. I remember I watched like this pastor or something freaking out over it. He's like, this is the guy who made Old Town Road and he's ruining the minds of the young. And he was like going off. And I'm just like, well, I mean, he was like gay when he made that song too. So it's not like, I don't know. And it's funny. I always find it funny when someone clearly does something for shock value and then people react accordingly. Like,
yeah,
it's
they
so
get the
played
exact reaction they expect. I know. For me, even if I found it tasteless, my number one goal would be to make sure they get no satisfaction.
Well, yeah, because they're giving them publicity. If you're like
in my heart of hearts, if I was like, oh, I don't like that, I'd
Yeah.
just be like, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Because guess what? They're probably like sitting there going like, let's make something fucking crazy and piss someone off or make someone not like this and they'll get mad.
It's just so predictable. It's just funny because it's like whenever any artist does something like shock value that they know is going to make a certain demographic angry, it's like
100% success rate.
then it just works. And I'm like, well,
but you know what? For what it's worth, it only takes like one.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's 1,000 pastors out there, if you do something inflammatory, all it takes is like 1% of them reacting, and you did it.
And it's still
you got them.
Yeah,
right.
It's still
10
a lot
of them
of publicity.
are still flipping out and going, oh, blah blah blah. And everybody's like, look at the goofy pastor. Everybody laugh at him.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't like the Satan getting the lap dance.
Yeah, I know. It's just very what's the word? I said it already. Predictable. Yeah,
it's shock value.
Yeah.
You don't go, I want to give the devil a lap dance in a music video because you think it's I don't know. Like
Well,
what? Like is
I
it
guess
thematic to the song? Like,
it
how
is.
does
Well,
it-
okay, well, I will say I don't know. I actually don't think I've ever heard the song, but I do think there's a slight meaning to it. I think he's kind of just pointing out that in religion, like homosexuality is kind of frowned upon. So I think there was a message.
Oh,
there.
because the guy's gay.
Yeah, so I
see,
think to a
I see.
degree there was a message there. But yeah, at the end of the day, though, he still did it in a shocking way for that reason, and they're literally giving him the exact attention. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. It's just not shocking to me, anything that played out after that video came out.
That's also pretty meta that we're both talking about a song that neither of us have listened to.
Yeah.
You've only heard the drama around it, and I've never even heard of Lil Nas.
Right.
So
You've heard Old Town Road with Billy Ray Cyrus. He's like, I'm going to take my horse to the Old Town Road.
it's not a girl that sang that song.
No.
That I'm thinking of a completely different song.
It's like him and Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
He's still around,
Yeah.
and he's making hit songs.
Yeah.
Like now,
Yeah, he just
like
had a huge
just
one.
recently.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I guess. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
You can do a lot with an achy, breaky heart. I guess.
I didn't even realize. Isn't he like 60?
He could be. Yeah.
Wow, I'm just trying to process. There's so much happening here.
Yeah. Okay.
So okay, Billy Ray Cyrus is still relevant.
Yeah. Benny, how old is Billy Ray Cyrus? He is 59 years old. So
Dude, I called it
you were very close.
right on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. He used to churn out the hits back in the 90s or whatever.
Dude, the peak of his career was Hannah Montana for sure.
Yeah. To be real, he probably made equivalent amount of money doing Hannah Montana that he did with his music.
Oh, to back in the day, yeah, that's probably true.
If you think about all the
However-
merch, like Hannah Montana sold, he probably made royalties off a bit of the merch. He probably,
And he probably represented his daughter to a large degree
yeah.
in terms of what she was doing.
Yeah, when she was younger.
So he was probably getting bank off that too.
Yeah.
No, he probably made a lot of money off Hannah Montana.
That's true.
Lots of fuck you money. Do you know what he did with it?
Yeah.
He started doing rap collabs.
Yeah. That's what he does.
Dude, I got to look this up now.
yeah.
This is great.
Oh, it's yeah. That song was huge.
So do you actually say, I know this is starting to come across as out of touch, but is it Lil Nas X?
Yeah.
Damn. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I like
Which-
just saying it.
which-
Like into the mic felt very
Yeah.
unnatural.
Which I think again, it's funny because I don't actually know much about him, but I also heard because when I first heard that name, I'm like, there's already a rapper named like Nas or like NAS or whatever. So I was like, I don't know how that rapper pronounces it, but it is just NAS. I think it's Nas or Nas or something. Again, that's pretty out of touch, but I know that's a rapper.
I
from
think
like
that's
the
a pretty
90s.
safe bet because everybody puts Lil in front of their.
Yeah, but I'm just like, that's kind of a bit of a ripoff. But I actually think I heard he might be changing it too. Just random articles
Hold on.
pop up.
With all these new Zoomer Lil rappers coming out, is Lil Wayne still relevant?
Yeah,
Is he still making music?
I think he is. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I know. How? Yeah, I wonder how old he
Man,
is.
I will say I'm so out of. I would say in terms of music, I'm pretty up to date on almost every genre, or I've listened to a decent amount of like the big ones for every genre,
Yeah,
except for rap and country.
yeah,
So even when you said like there was a rap and country collab in both in one video,
Yeah.
that unfortunately did not clear any smoke for me. I'm like, that was equally confusing.
right.
Because you know what?
Country and rap, or as I like to call it, crap.
Crap.
I'm just kidding.
You know, that was-
I like some rap.
That's pretty common for under 30, I think. I am wondering if maybe around 30 I will have the same effect everybody else has, where I will suddenly like country. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe I'm open to it.
I like country. I guess I would say there is music from pretty much every genre that I think they have. There are some songs that are really good. So I don't know, even country. Like I would say a lot of like the modern country coming out, like the overly poppy, like pandery country that's just very generic. I don't like that. But like I do think a lot of old school country is pretty cool. Like it used to have kind of a cool like
I like
vibe.
that old country owned up to it.
Yeah.
They kind of went, this is real. This is just full blown country. There's no mix here. This isn't pop country. There's no
Yeah.
bullshitting. This is, we have a banjo and I'm just bearing my soul and talking about cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it is exactly what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I can at least respect that.
Yeah, like I don't know, Waylon Jennings or like Johnny Cash or like even Roger Miller. He's like a pretty funny country artist.
Yeah.
But there are like a lot of old school country I like. So I don't like, again, you gotta be in the mood. I don't just go around like riding my horse everywhere listening to it. But
I wish I had a horse.
oh, that'd be cool. I'd ride it to the old town roads, the old crossroads.
Ride it down to the crossroad. Step 1, get a horse. 2, find dirt roads on horse. 3, make a deal with the devil.
Step 4, profit.
Ask for a 1970 Stratocaster.
Ask to collab with a hit rapper.
A hit rapper.
Yeah.
Throw the guitar away.
Yeah.
Say, please, let me collab with the next Lil. I don't care. When is he coming? I don't know. I don't care. But the next big Lil.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. I wonder. I'm asking very open-ended questions that I know you don't know the answer. And the question I was about to ask is so loaded. Like a simple search wouldn't even be able to help.
Wouldn't even start to scratch.
Because I was just gonna say, I wonder who like the very first like rapper to use Lil in their name was. But I'm like, there's probably no quantifiable way to actually find that.
Well, there would be a way to if we could probably Google who was the first big Lil.
Big is the key thing, but
yeah.
Clearly, if it's such a big thing, like it must have been some kind of cultural thing where a lot of people started using it. Like I don't know. I'm assuming there must have been more right off the bat. I don't know.
That's a good one. Yeah, I don't know.
So
man, let's we've been deep into the topics of things we don't know for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel a little.
We're just asking open-ended questions.
I'm just in strange territory. I don't know where we are.
Yeah.
Or where this goes.
Where are we? Yeah.
Yeah. Rap, country, absolutely.
Yeah. Country rap. That's my favorite genre.
Well, Jimmy, where should we bounce to next?
Where should we bounce to? There is someone you've been wanting to talk about a lot lately, and
that's true.
You still haven't.
Yeah, I haven't. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, you might as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've always wanted to talk about. And guys, please look this up. I think this will become a very interesting source of intrigue. Mm-hmm. And in terms of like memes, this is a good long-term investment, I think. Yeah. This will pay off in the future, okay?
Yeah.
This guy I've been tracking, his name's Connor Murphy. I don't watch all of his videos. I don't think any human being with a fully functioning brain possibly could. Mm-hmm. But he used to be. He probably became famous for two things. One, he was one of those shirtless guys who would, walk up to women and like take his shirt off and go, "Look, here's my six-pack."
Wait, like did he do like
up on
pick
steroids
up artist videos?
Exactly.
Oh,
except
God.
It wasn't even like he would just basically take his shirt off.
Yeah.
And the girls would go, "Wow, you have abs."
Cool.
Yeah, and that was his videos, right? So
wow.
Then at one point H3 did like a video on him, ripping on him kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that guy, he was making these kind of videos for years and years. Just there's nothing wrong with that. Typical jockey guy just wants to hit on girls and take his shirt off. Yeah. Whatever. I wouldn't call it a wholesome life, but it's a life.
Yeah. People react to it and give him views, so
Exactly. Then he started taking ayahuasca, mm-hmm. which, if anybody's wondering, is DMT.
Yeah.
Brain juice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he started taking it a lot. Then he had a nervous breakdown, and he started talking about his like parental issues and like all these deep-rooted things, and he cried for an hour. Then he deleted that video.
Like it was on a stream or something?
Yeah, he just randomly uploaded it near the beginning. Okay. And then you can find the video. He deleted it, but people re-uploaded it, right?
Was he on? Like, because I think ayahuasca, if you drink ayahuasca, it lasts a lot longer than DMT. Because I think DMT is like a short buzz. Like, you smoke it and it lasts a bit. I think ayahuasca lasts longer.
Yes, it does. I think, yeah, you're right.
So was he like on ayahuasca?
I think DMT doesn't last very long. It's the same thing as, not as short as salvia. A little bit longer, but it's not like even like smoking weed would last longer, as like you're saying. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Apparently, DMT is like a 10-minute thing.
It's a short thing. Yeah. But ayahuasca, I think that is true. If you take ayahuasca in a certain form, it will last longer. And I think that is because what was his name? The Vsauce.
Yeah.
He did an episode about that for his show Mindfield.
Right.
And he was on ayahuasca, and I think it lasted 4 to 6 hours.
Okay,
or something like that. So
because I know again in like the rainforest, like a lot of places in South America, there's like shamans who do these like retreats.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, but
He went down and did a shamanic ritual.
But
and
I was
all
under
this
the
stuff.
impression it lasted like all day, but I don't know. It could be depends. It probably depends on how much you do or
Well,
where
it's
you are.
it's like every drug. You have your kind of going up, then your peak, and then you've hit the peak, and now you're coming down.
Yeah.
Like it goes through all those typical motions.
right.
And I think, yeah, I don't know. You'd have to watch. I think it's actually available now. I think he made it like available to anybody to watch. But
Oh, I thought you meant ayahuasca. He's
No,
just
the Vsauce
selling,
video, it's
He's just selling
interesting.
ayahuasca now.
he did ayahuasca for the show.
It's
so-
available to everyone now.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a very intense, powerful drug. Obviously, super legal, et cetera, et cetera. This guy, he started taking it once every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like full blown, like heroic doses of DMT.
Yeah.
So the guy's tripping out in DMT all day. He's making the most batshit insane videos I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I mean so batshit that you can't even track what's happening half the time.
Right.
It's just lots of like weird colors and abstraction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to him it means something, but his brain at this is so yargled at this point, which that's not even a word. And,
I
I
get
created
it,
a
though.
new word to try to describe
Whoa, Shakespeare
what's going on
over
with
here.
this guy. I know.
And it works.
Thank you. It made me feel a certain way.
I believe his brain's yargled.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's just nonsense.
My
And
brain's a little yargled, but his is probably a lot more yargled.
So if you go to his YouTube channel, he barely gets any views now, but
Mm-hmm.
he is just making the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just pure garbage. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he's just completely. This guy went from like a weird, like a like a ripped jockey, like a normal dude. I almost miss him being just like kind of like a douche. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Now he's a crazy hippie,
Just
and he
way off the deep
does
end.
tons of like DMT and like trips out all the time, and
Yeah.
just
Well,
a weird dude.
Well, yeah. So yeah, the video you showed me, I remember. It's almost didn't it see because he streams too, right?
Oh yeah, he was live streaming, and he
Yeah.
was watching 3 videos at once
Mm-hmm.
while he was like reading articles, and he was reading articles about 2 things. One, he was obsessed with H3's videos on him, so he kept
Okay.
playing those on loop on
Weird.
one side of the screen. Then on the other side of the screen, he was convinced he was Evan Hansen from there's like a really famous like theater show called Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
He was convinced he was Evan Hansen. So he was like reading wikis about Evan Hansen.
I don't even know who that is, but
I know it's weird. I only know it because I do lots of theater in Toronto.
right.
And it's a pretty famous show. So it's
Okay.
like a lot of people do know about it, but it's not surprising if you don't know about it. That's the kind of the niche it's in.
Yeah.
And then he had a Zoom call where he had all these random people coming in that watches YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're all basically saying, "Go get help."
Yeah.
Because he's just on the ground, and it's like a thing where he starts a Zoom call and they all like come in, and it's just a webcam looking at a ceiling for 20 minutes. Then he randomly shows up,
Yeah.
just talks for a bit, and then he just like smacks the camera and runs off again. Like,
Right.
just yeah. Obviously, it's very sad on a personal level that his whole life's being uprooted and completely destroyed, and who knows if his brain is ever going to get anything close to.
Recovered.
Honestly, at this point, he should be happy if he can even just he can have a regular food schedule.
Right.
Like eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then go to bed at 12. If he can get that the rest of his life, he did good
Yeah.
at this point. But
Yeah, it's sad. And it's also crazy to me that someone would go that far with something like that, like a substance like psychedelics. Like, I just, that blows my mind because, I mean, obviously, like ayahuasca retreats, like I've heard there can be some benefits to it. Like, there are people who actually walk away. There's people who claim like they stopped doing like hard drugs because they went on a retreat like that. So obviously, like the substance in a small dose isn't necessarily bad, but it's weird that someone would go that far with that and keep doing it. And you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Because like, yeah, I've definitely read a lot of things about it and how some people claim it's benefited them and they're not like totally whacked of their mind now. So it's strange to me that someone even feels the need to go that far with a substance like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was listening to a bunch of stuff on Sid Barrett.
Yeah.
And
Sid Barrett's another good example.
he did something similar, not as extreme really, but he was just already a pretty far out guy.
Yeah.
You know?
He did a
And,
lot of drugs though too.
Yeah. Now he did a lot of acid, but this guy's doing ayahuasca every 2 hours. Like
Yeah.
on that scale, he should be more fucked up. kind of thing, right?
Because his brain's not getting any time to ground itself.
It's just obliterating his brain on a daily basis. Now, I think Sid Barrett obviously did a lot of acid.
Yeah. I think he did like heroin and stuff as well.
He probably did.
I
think most people did.
And,
It was
like rock
pretty
stars
standard
at the
for rock
time.
stars back then.
Yeah.
But I think
the acid.
I think acid was one of the big ones.
Oh yeah.
And his sister said, and I thought it was intriguing because it's like looking at like even when you look at someone like Connor Murphy, is it was hard for Sid, and apparently later in life, to manage patterns.
Yeah.
It was hard for him to have a set breakfast, lunch, dinner, bedtime.
Yeah.
The whole construct of having a structured day was kind of just gone.
Yeah.
And so it was hard to
Melted
take
away.
care of him because she could show up and maybe he didn't eat or
Yeah.
maybe he didn't sleep because there was no guarantee he'd ever do those things because it's almost like this weird he was always in this weird chaotic state.
Yeah.
And it's so that's an interesting thing to me. I'm like and like Connor Murphy's kind of becoming similar where he just is very scatterbrained and can't handle structure.
Yeah. Do you know what blew my mind? Yeah, Sid Barrett died in 2006.
He lived a long life.
So he actually was alive for a long time, but he was just basically in like special care because his brain he just fried it basically.
Yeah, and the members would visit him, but then Sid's mother eventually said, "Please don't visit anymore."
Yeah.
Because every single time Sid saw them, apparently he would be out of sorts and upset. And
Bring him back to like, yeah.
apparently, it would last a couple weeks where he'd just be down and upset and whatever.
Yeah.
So
That's fair. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Sid Barrett, like his whole story, like I definitely know a lot more about him than Connor Murphy, but Sid Barrett, like I was reading about him a lot a couple years ago, and it was just very interesting to me, like how that whole story went down. But do you know, have you ever seen The Wall, like Pink Floyd, like the movie The Wall?
the one in 1982.
I think.
Yes. I saw. Well, I didn't see all. I haven't seen all of it. Like I
don't
haven't
know
sat
when it
down
came
and
out.
watched it front to back. But I've watched some of the like music videos for the
Okay.
songs and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
'cause,
and they are very good.
Well,
amazing hand drawn animations.
Oh yeah.
My
Well,
favorite one was probably just before you were about to say something.
Yeah.
Is I really liked The Trial.
Okay. Yeah.
The like the whole last snippet. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. No, it actually is a really cool movie. But when did it come out? Did it come out that long after The Wall came out? Like,
Yeah.
the
Good.
album?
Yeah. Good couple years later.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't know
Because
that.
it started off as like an album release, then a tour,
Right.
and then eventually said we want to do a movie adaptation.
Oh, okay.
So I did think it took a couple years.
Oh, okay.
And I
actually
think
didn't know
The
that.
Wall was 1979.
Yeah.
I think that sounds right.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Like the other albums, like "Wish You Were Here" and "Animals" came first, and those were mid '70s. So that
Right.
makes sense. Yeah. So that was just at the very end of the '70s.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. So apparently, one scene from that, which I thought was kind of interesting, there's a scene where there's a guy laying down on a couch or something, and he's smoking a cigarette, and the cigarette burns all the way down to his fingers.
Yes, I saw that scene.
Yeah, they just burns all the way to his fingers. Apparently, that's actually based on Sid Barrett. Apparently, when he was first kind of hard to work with, when his mental health was starting to kind of dwindle, I guess they basically just went and did a show. They were trying to get him to come, but he wouldn't come. And
Yeah,
they're
he
just
was
like,
backstage, and they said, "Okay, we'll see you after the show."
and it was something like that. Maybe he was at home. I don't remember the exact story, but he was smoking when they left, and they said when they came back, he was after the show. Like they tried to get him to come, and he wouldn't come. They came back, and apparently the cigarette, he didn't move an inch the whole time they were performing. Like he was frozen, like totally just like frozen. And apparently the cigarette burned all the way down his fingers, and they could tell because there was just a whole long thing of ash on his pants, and it just burned all the way down. So that's where the imagery for that actually came from.
It came from Sid.
They actually witnessed him do that.
But keep in mind, this is just my opinion, but pretty much their entire musical career was based around Sid Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Even after he stopped being a part of it, all their songs are about Sid Barrett, and all their like imagery is about Sid Barrett.
Yeah, because
he really is the crux of their writing material.
Oh yeah, it's funny to me too, is because I listened to Piper at the Gates of Dawn a couple of years ago for the first time, and it's so much different than all their other stuff. But like, I do like it. It
A
has
lot of
it has
people don't
it has a
like
unique
it.
charm to it.
Yeah.
I like it. I know.
I liked it. I didn't love it though. I didn't consider it I wouldn't consider The Piper at the Gates of Dawn anything close to a masterpiece.
I wouldn't either.
In my opinion.
But to me, it's just like good psych music. Like it's just like of the time. Like it just reminds you of probably just a typical band of the time. Like
I can see
I do
why
like it.
people viewed Sid as a talented guy.
Yeah. He also put out an album called The Madcap Laughs or something. He has like a solo
Yeah,
album.
he has a solo album. Yeah.
But I don't know. I listened to Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and I do remember like I don't know. It is worth listening to. Like anyone listening to this who hasn't heard it, I would say check it out. It's interesting. But
Yeah, give the first album a try. It's very interesting. It's very different.
yeah. Do you remember? So we were hanging out with Toll.
Yeah.
And he said, didn't he say either he went to listen to Pink Floyd for the first time and he came across Piper at the Gates of Dawn for some reason and he listened to it and he's like, why is this like one of the biggest bands in the world?
Famous? What the hell?
Yeah, he's like, what is this? Because he's like, I've got a bike. You can ride it if you like.
I would if I could, but I borrowed it.
Yeah, yeah. And Astronomy Dawnmany, that's a cool song, actually.
Or what? Isn't it like Intergalactic Stellar Overdrive or something?
That's another.
Yeah, another song on
That's
the
another
album.
one.
Yeah.
Those two, I think, are good though.
Yeah, they're both pretty good.
But yeah, I don't know. Very,
But
very
I will
weird
say,
stuff. Very out there.
The
stuff.
reality is, though, in my opinion, I think if Sid Barrett, I think if none of that happened, Pink Floyd wouldn't be anything close to as famous as they are now.
No, because it kind of.
I don't think Sid. I think they would have been an interesting psychedelic band,
Mm-hmm.
and that would have been the end of their career.
Yeah, they would have like probably held up in the culture of like people who grew up with it. They probably would be like, oh yeah, I remember listening to these guys.
Yeah, they wouldn't have broken the mold of time,
like the
meaning
world
that-
scale. Yeah,
Yeah, like for example, to me, like because I like let's say like one of their classics, like "Shine On You Crazy Diamond."
it's about
That song to me is a masterpiece,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll last forever.
yeah.
And there's no way, I don't think they could have ever written anything like that
Oh no, because
without the backing or the story or the context or.
well, yeah, it's kind of a cliche, but it's actually I'd say it's very true. Like kind of tragedy does create a lot of good art
It creates art.
because it gives someone like a passion, and it's because people use art a lot of times as like an escape too, right? So if they're actually dealing with something really personal, they're gonna take it to a further level when they're actually feeling the need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they definitely wouldn't have been as like crazy as a band, I'm sure, without him. But I think he inspired a lot of their music.
Yeah, even after he stopped being part of the process, right?
Yeah, because
So-
even the
Hey,
Wall,
That's a good history.
even the Wall, a long time after, and they even referenced him then. So
Yeah, I know. Even that much later, they were still talking about him a bit.
yeah,
But I do think the Wall really that as like yes, that was later in their career, and that's obviously like their. How would you put it? I think in a lot of ways it is a definitive album.
the Wall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the sense that they really came into what's the guy's name? Roger Waters.
yeah,
Yeah, just his whole story, like all about his dad in World War II and shit like that. It's a fucking crazy album.
Yeah.
and I liked it because it was a complete disconnect from, as you said, like a lot of their content was pretty similar for a while.
yeah,
Brilliant, but just similar. So I think The Wall was like that nice,
yeah.
whoa, this is completely different kind of thing.
Yeah, that's very true. I actually knew someone who owned the Wall on Betamax.
That's kind of almost tragic in
I know.
itself, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, well, I don't know. That's cool because, like, I think that was my first time ever even seeing a Betamax in person.
Were they smaller or larger than vinyl? Like they're smaller, right?
I'm trying to remember. Well, they were like kind of more of a VHS kind of.
I've never seen a Betamax, but I've seen pictures of them.
I think they were more like the precursor to a VHS.
Really?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, because I know there was also a smaller vinyl as well that just didn't quite take off.
Yeah, Betamax. Okay, yeah, Betamax was kind of a precursor to VHS. It's an analog recording and cassette format for magnetic
Here,
tape.
hold on. Look, show me a picture, and everybody listening right now, just go look
If you're
up a picture
interested, yeah.
of a Betamax.
Yeah, well, you can there's a couple there you can look at. Yeah, and if you're listening, if you care enough, you can look up a Betamax too.
Interesting. That's fucking wild.
Yeah. But yeah, I literally know someone who still had one of these. Well, not still. It was like obviously passed down from their parents and stuff. because this was someone my age who showed me it.
It could be an enthusiast.
Yeah, maybe they found it. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. I don't know how well it held up, but
Yeah. So I will say, obviously, drugs are fun, but
don't
don't make your life about drugs.
Just kidding. Yeah.
I am.
No,
Do
absolutely.
you know what? I'm convinced that when you do drugs, it's not productive to question everything in your life.
Yeah.
Meaning that, as I said, for me, like the symptom of being unable to appreciate structure
Yeah.
or the value it has,
Right.
because your brain has just become so abstract. Where you go, oh, why do I eat food at these times, or why do I sleep at this time? Like that's all. I think. Yeah, I just think it's like a thing you do it every once in a while. You kind of maybe, as you said, you're less grounded for a bit, then you come back and you're like, cool, let's stick to being grounded 99% of the time.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, actually, just quick, well, I guess not quick. Do you think VHS is ever going to make a comeback the way vinyl
No.
did? You don't
And
think
I
so?
can already tell you, no.
Because it doesn't hold up as well, right? But I still think the
Now, when you
novelty of it kind of does. Like, as in, people do make a lot of like artwork out of that analog kind of feeling and stuff, and like people do kind of like that film grainy feeling.
Yeah.
But as far as like actually trying to preserve any like content created in the past, like
Here's the thing: is
it's not that good at it.
there's one problem. Okay, so vinyl. Okay, it's older, which is that's fine, but that doesn't mean it's worse in any way, and it's not.
Yeah.
Because vinyl is lossless, so to speak, meaning it's purely analog.
Right.
There's no electrical or digital interpolation happening. Oh, sorry, not electrical, just digital. There's no interpolation. Like CDs, for example, are lower quality than vinyl.
Yeah.
Because they're just digital interpolations of what was on vinyl.
Right.
And the quality's pretty good. Like CDs hold pretty well, but like CDs are not going to last either.
No.
And MP3s, yeah, and they're not lossless. They're loss formats, meaning that they cut out a bunch of stuff with an algorithm, and it's fair. It does make sense. It's all designed around getting rid of things that we shouldn't be able to perceptually hear anyway. But the overall package, in a lot of people's opinion,
Yeah.
reduces the quality.
Right.
So vinyl, in a lot of ways, actually is a true way to listen to music still.
Yeah.
And there's obviously other ways to obtain that, but vinyl is just a great way to do it.
Yeah.
So why not just listen to vinyl?
Yeah.
So there's no downgrade there. It's not like, it's
That's
older
true.
and it's better. No, it really is.
Well, yeah, because VHS is very obviously lower quality.
It's lower quality.
Yeah. I actually remember the first time watching a DVD, like no joke. I recall, I think it was like my parents got a DVD player for the first time, and I remember my dad, again, it wasn't as big of a deal to me at the time, but I think my dad, I just recall him talking about it, and that's why it's such a big memory to me.
Yeah.
But I remember he put it in, he was just like, wow. He's like, this is like so crisp. Like he was like just blown away by how nice it looked, like the DVD.
Yeah.
And I was like, that clearly was like my first time probably ever watching a DVD. And because I remember my dad reacting, like as soon as it came on, he was just like, whoa.
Blown away at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could remember my parents' reaction to stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be cool, because
It
for
is.
them, they're probably going, holy shit, this is the future. This is crazy.
Yeah. Because I live.
Now, sorry, but just before we move on, though,
Yeah.
one big thing is putting video on tape. There's a reason there's a lot of people in film that still do tape.
Yeah.
When they're recording movies, a lot of directors still do it.
Oh, really?
Is because it's the same as audio. Like putting it on that medium means there's no interpolation happening. It's exactly that.
Okay.
And it looks very good. The problem is putting it on a VHS and then processing it through like your VHS unit.
That's when you lose the
don't get a
quality.
great product coming out. Yeah. So
is there a way to take the analog and somehow make it digital, like convert it digitally and still keep the quality?
we already do a great job of that. The
Yeah.
reality is like 4K Blu-ray looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
It's very very high resolution.
Right.
Especially if you're let's say you're watching on a 50-inch screen and you're standing 10, 15 feet away.
Yeah.
If it's 4K, I don't think you're going to be able to discern any sort of difference beyond that point.
Right.
So it already looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
No, video's come a long way, but there's a reason why there's not such a strong nostalgia for video the same way there is for audio, and that's the big reason.
Yeah.
Vinyl is a very high quality audio medium.
Yeah,
And that will never change.
that's true. I still think like even just the kind of glitch art and like kind of I don't know, like vapor wavy type artwork, a lot of that uses kind of the imperfections of VHS. So I mean there's still a nostalgia there, but it's definitely used purely for an aesthetic rather than the quality of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can see maybe people putting stuff out on stuff like that just for that reason, just for the novelty of it. But yeah, it's not going to be like the staple, you know. I can't.
Yeah,
see
some
that
people
happening.
probably have VHS for fun and shits and giggles and whatever. But
Yeah,
the reality is the tape in those things are pretty crap.
yeah,
They were designed to be sold for $5 to $10 for wound over and over again and used and abused. So like it's just shitty tape.
I actually know a guy who has a huge VHS collection in his basement, like huge.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what made me even think of it to begin with. I was like, I wonder if any of that's going to actually be worth a lot down the road. And it's still potential.
Oh, of course. No, it's still
a piece
it
of
can
history.
Still gain value just for
Yeah.
as you said, purely on the fact it's historical.
Historical value.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
But it's like I know a lot of people when DVDs came out, they just were getting rid of their VHSs like left, right, and center. Like my parents got rid of tons of VHSs. We used to have tons, and like they just got rid of them. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hoarder, but I'm genuinely thinking like, I don't know. If I had something like that, I wouldn't be quick to get rid of it just because it is potentially. It's just cool to hold on to something old, I think, to a degree.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can still pick up tons of VHSs for like $1 at flea markets still to this day. So
Yeah, and sometimes it does pay. It does not pay off. It pays off to keep it because we might have talked about this before, but the same thing. Once again, going back to audio,
yeah,
when the digital movement started to happen, maybe around the mid 2000s,
yeah,
everything started becoming digitized and all that shit. A lot of studios started buying all this new digital equipment, and they tossed out all their old analog shit, like lots of tubes and all that stuff.
yeah.
Then a couple years passed, and they went, "We fucked up." They're like, "This digital shit, not very good, does not sound great," and they were all scrambling to get their old equipment back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't always. Just because something's new doesn't mean it's going to stand the test of time.
That's
Let's put it that
true.
way.
Yeah.
So, and lots of studios now, they still have plenty. A lot of their equipment, a lot of the most famous stuff came from the 70s.
Yeah.
So,
Well, actually, yeah, I've been filming horse races like once a week, and I use so much old equipment. It's kind of funny. Like it's a weird mashup of new and old equipment.
all
But,
the new equipment just to keep the old stuff going.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like I'm using like a computer to kind of snip clips of it, but then we have like a backup like analog version of it in case something goes wrong. I can still send it to them because people are betting on these horses, so it's important to make sure it's all preserved.
You need to always have redundancy.
Yeah,
without question.
It's kind of funny because I've had to get used to using some weird janky old equipment and a lot of new equipment, so it's like a weird mashup. But
No, that must be pretty fun.
oh, it is fun, yeah.
Just doing that sort of race shit.
Oh, it is fun.
I
Hey,
love old tech.
something else I want to mention while we're on this topic because it's pretty topical and it's kind of relevant. I just read,
Topical and relevant. I like
Yeah.
the way you put that.
I
Like
know.
you're some sort of MC host going, like, okay, guys, I thought I'd get into this next topic because not only is it topical, but it's also relevant.
yeah. No, I just
Steer
read
the ship, Jamie. Steer the ship.
I just read that a sealed version of Mario 64, like an original for N64, sold for $1.5 million.
Fuck me.
I know, and I'm like, I used to own that game.
Who would buy Mario 64 then just not open it?
Well, that too.
That's the first
but
fucked up
But
part.
who pays that much for it? Because like.
Rich people that have nothing better to do, Jamie. What do you think Notch does in his spare time? He sold Minecraft for $4 billion. He's probably buying that shit all the time. He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with all my money.
For example, I just looked it up, and you can get Super Mario N64 right now used for $129. So it's like it just inflated all the prices of all the original 64 games pretty much just because somebody paid that much. I'm sure it inflated the prices.
That's
so
half
much.
true. I think COVID made all collectibles increase in value.
That's true too. Yeah,
because people are at home and they're bored and they start thinking, I want to collect something.
That's true. But that broke like a record. Like that was pretty much the most expensive game ever sold now, Mario 64.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, that blew my mind because I was like, I literally knew so many people who owned that game, and it's like, what? So if they just happened to not open it, like they all would have been able to sell for like a couple million. Like,
No, of course not. It's all about rarity.
well, true.
The only reason it was 1.5 million is because there's nothing else like it, and it was the only one there.
True, but my point is, out of all the people I know who owned that game growing up, if just one of them happened to buy an extra copy and not open it, like, that's still crazy to me. That
True.
it inflated
now,
that
just
much.
happened to. How likely is that to happen?
Yeah.
How often do you buy
Well, yeah, you're not
a
gonna
video
predict
game,
that.
then purchase an additional copy and go, I'm going to hold this for 30 years?
Yeah.
It doesn't really, it doesn't naturally come to
But
mind.
I
It has
get-
to be a variant. The guy who did that maybe at the time was a big fucking brainer going, you know what? I'm just going to open this and just hold on to this for a long fucking
And he probably
time.
just bought another copy and actually played that. Like,
That, or maybe they were going through like their freaking dad's shit when he passed away or something, and they're like, oh, what? He never opened this or something.
oh,
So
yeah, true.
that could be a fluke as well.
Yeah.
I would definitely believe that's not the last unopened copy left. It could be that
Oh,
in
exactly.
someone's attic somewhere they just got something worth millions, or
And they don't even know.
they're so out of touch that they find it unopened and they just go, oh, let's crack it open.
Yeah, let's see
And
what
put
this
it in the
looks like.
console,
Yeah.
not knowing that they're cracking open $1.5 million
Yeah.
in theoretical value.
I know. That's
Oh,
that blew my mind when I read that, honestly. I don't know.
it's always demand, man.
Yeah.
How many of them are left? How many can you get, and how hard are they to get?
Yeah, because it even blew my mind that Earthbound, they would sell for like $10,000 each, like a copy, and I don't even think this is sealed copies. This is just because somehow that's a rare game.
It's a craze, even though it was a pretty success. I don't know either. I have no idea.
I think with that game it was more of a cult classic, so I think there are very limited copies, but now
less than Mario 64. That is
way
for
less.
certain.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So if someone managed to have a sealed Earthbound, wow, they're gonna
take this world by storm.
watch out, Jeff Bezos.
I know he's gonna. Your neighbor's gonna be moving in. He's gonna be selling Earthbound money. That's how he's gonna buy his property.
Exactly. Holy.
Just kidding. Jeff Bezos definitely owns all of his neighbors' houses too. So
That's true.
creating a large empire.
Yeah. Did you hear about those like calm down booths they're putting in Amazon?
Dude, they're actually, that's not even just Amazon. Like some
Yeah.
people are starting to do that now.
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind that, okay, I know this is going to come across a little out of, okay, you can come back and reel me in again, okay?
Sure.
But just the fact that our grandparents and great-grandparents like went to war and like saw their friends die and
Yeah.
fucking like had their legs blown off, traumatized for life.
Yeah.
And now in first world country, in almost unarguably some of the best living conditions ever in history,
Yeah.
now we have calm down rooms at our jobs.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Like
It was
I
different
just feel
times,
like
so I guess-
shit was pretty fucked up back then. And I'm not saying it's perfect now, but
no. I would say
don't know.
we kind of actually talked about this before, but I do think anxiety and stuff is far more prevalent now, and I think it is with the advent of the internet and people not needing to interact as much. We kind of got on that before. And I would say like people are just conditioned a little differently now than they used to be. I would say that's a big part.
my big theory is it makes life really simple when you have a very clear opposition.
Yeah.
So
Exactly, yeah.
That in the case being, so for example,
That
this
was like their only
absolute-
option was to either do that or like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, at the time, like Hitler was an absolute evil
Yeah.
that was not going. At that point, it was very clear he was not going to stop, and the only answer was to go stop him.
Yeah.
So it just creates this really obvious archetype of this person is absolute evil. We need to stop him, and it does make life simple.
Exactly.
in that way.
And I would say arguably that gives someone a little more purpose too than someone feeling like they're kind of trapped in a job at a warehouse pissing in jugs. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I guess like that's another kind of part of it is like I can see that can probably be draining on someone's mental health after a while if they feel kind of like trapped there, I guess.
See, you're already reeling me back. This is great. This is good.
Yeah.
I went on my quick angry boomer rant. Just like, "Ah,
No, but the contrast is funny. I do get what you're saying. I saw like a meme about it, and it was like, hey, everyone, look, Jeffrey was just using the cry booth.
Jeff Bezos slips into the room.
Oh,
quick.
yeah, I can't believe I said Jeffrey. I guess I should have just had a random name.
Just Bezos, like he's like, one moment. Just
Yeah,
runs
he's
to
the only one who
calm down booth
uses
quick.
it. Yeah, he's the only one who uses it. All his employees like don't use it, and Jeff Bezos visits the warehouse. He's like, I just need to go in here for a second.
He's stressed it over all the money he's losing during his divorce.
Yeah,
Holy fuck! I'm gonna lose tens of billions of dollars.
that's true. Is he getting divorced?
Yeah, him and Bill Gates too.
Wow.
All the rich people are getting divorced now. Why not, dude? If you were married to one of these rich people
Yeah.
and you eventually realized this guy's kind of a pain in the ass now, he's kind of annoying me, he's old, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go, okay, if I divorce him right now, I get, okay, tens of billions of dollars, okay.
And I don't have to talk to him anymore. Yeah.
And just say bye, see you later.
it's a win-win.
I'm going to go be super rich forever, bye.
That's true. I mean,
Holy fuck moly. I wish I could be Bill Gates' wife. If I could resurrect and be Bill Gates' wife.
and just take him for everything he has.
Fuck yeah.
The one thing he is kind of a catch though. There's that video of him jumping over a chair from standing position.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if I could leave that. That's pretty talented, but
Yeah.
you know.
The video has such like a professional name. It's like Bill Gates jumping from a static position
yeah.
over a chair.
Oh man.
No fucking way you can do that now though. So
I don't know, man.
she got the best
Probably has
time.
he probably has bionic legs. Or
She already
something.
took his best times.
That's true.
She had Bill Gates his whole youth, and now she's like, I just want to fuck off with money and go to Puerto Rico every day.
Oh yeah.
Can you even fathom, Jamie, that Bill Gates' wife or Jeff Bezos' wife could literally do 2 pounds of cocaine every day, like with off of 20 male strippers in like a rented like $20 million mansion that she doesn't even bother buying 'cause she doesn't fucking care.
Yeah.
And crash a yacht every single day
Yeah.
into an island and
Yeah.
watch it sink. And she could probably do that daily for the rest of her life.
Yeah. And she probably will.
Like, that's how fucking rich she is. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Is that the type of girl she is? I don't know much about her. Is she,
I have no idea.
Is she a partier?
Maybe she's about to find out. Maybe she's never had this freedom before. Maybe she's starting to go, oh my God, I could do that.
That's true.
We've talked about this. I've talked about some people recently, but money just fucks you up.
Yeah.
Money fucks your head. It makes you weird.
Yeah. Out of touch with what's going on, I guess.
Yeah, so the whole thing of all the destructive things we could do to our body, thankfully, I think in a lot of ways are restricted by the fact that we can't afford to do them all the time.
Yeah.
How many people would be doing cocaine daily if they actually had the financial option to do so?
Oh, well, that's why a lot of famous celebrities end up
They
becoming
destroy
drug
themselves
addicts
because they
and
start
stuff.
to realize there is no rules. They're like, well,
'Cause-
I could do that.
They're like, I basically can retire now, so I really don't need to do anything else theoretically.
Yeah, I
Most
could
of 'em.
destroy my whole life and it's a null. Holy shit,
And
Jamie.
it'd be fine. What?
We're way over.
Are we?
Oh my God, we're like 6 minutes over.
Oh, okay. Well,
Whoa.
that seemed way more intense. I was like expecting you to say like 20 minutes over, but okay. Yeah.
No. Okay, I guess like kind of over.
That's still pretty over. All
But
right.
yeah. Anyways, Bill.
Well, anyway, it's over.
It's over. Wow, we just kind of rambled for like.
Is that not what we always do?
I know. Just this time it felt less coordinated. Like we're just
All right.
freaking.
Well, anyway, guys, don't do cocaine every day.
Don't do drugs. I usually feel in control. You know, we end the show at the right time and whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, guys. Wow. Thank you for listening.
All right. Bye.
Always a good time. Goodbye.